the man went to pick up his niece from school. Unexpectedly, he ran into his ex-girlfriend whom he hadn't seen in 4 years. He immediately felt awkward and wanted to leave quickly, but his ex-girlfriend stopped him before he could slip away. The man didn't know how to face her, so he awkwardly greeted her. He even said he was there to pick up his daughter, but the next second, his niece exposed his lie. Seeing the ex-girlfriend's amused look, the man felt completely at a loss. It turned out that 4 years ago, when the man first met Alice, he fell in love with her at first sight. After finding out who Alice was, he transferred to the college Alice attended. Just like that, the two of them got together. But on graduation day, Alice proposed to him in front of many people. For some unknown reason, the man rejected her that day. He even broke up with her. So in all these years, he has carried guilt toward Alice. He thought after that, he and Alice would never cross paths again. But unexpectedly, fate played a joke on him. He actually saw Alice again at work. She showed up again, and she had become his boss. What the man didn't know was that Alice had come to work there because of him. She was still very angry about what happened back then. So, when she saw him again, she deliberately told him to finish a week's worth of reports, or else he wasn't allowed to leave work. Then she walked away. The man felt miserable, because that was a whole week's workload, and he had to finish it in one day. But when he saw how curious his co-workers were about him and Alice, to kill their curiosity, he handed the work over to them. Finally, before the end of the day, the man got the work done, so he hesitated and went into Alice's office to report. Little did he know, as soon as he stepped inside, his co-workers, out of curiosity, leaned against the office door to eavesdrop. But accidentally, they lost balance and tumbled inside. The man felt extremely embarrassed. Just as he was about to explain, Alice said his work had been completed very quickly. So she decided that before he could leave, he had to write 3 more proposals. After leaving her office, he couldn't help complaining to his co-workers about Alice. But the next second, Alice came out of her office. To the man's surprise, Alice told him the proposals weren't urgent. He could go home. The sudden good news left the man stunned. It wasn't until Alice reminded him that he left the office without hesitation. Come on, who would want to stay late at work? The reason Alice did this was because when the man had left her office earlier, she noticed the bracelet on his wrist. She hadn't expected that he still kept the bracelet from when they were in love. Alice softened. She guessed there might have been a hidden reason behind the breakup. So, the next day at work, she called the man into her office and handed him a dismissal letter. The man was furious when he saw it. He questioned Alice. Why was the company firing him? He said bluntly that he was the company's top performer. Over the years, the company had survived because of him. Alice explained it was the company's decision, but the angry man wouldn't listen. In his rage, he accidentally spilled water on her. Seeing that, the man immediately calmed down. He hurried to wipe the water off Alice. But just then, her assistant walked in and saw the scene, misunderstanding their relationship. So the assistant quickly put down the documents and rushed out of the office. The man, embarrassed, was about to leave too, but Alice called him back and handed him a file. When he opened it, he found it was a job transfer notice. She wanted to transfer him to be her secretary. The man was furious. He said Alice wasn't respecting his wishes and was arbitrarily changing his position. Seeing how firm he was, Alice asked why, back then, he could ignore her wishes and break up. When the man fell silent, Alice didn't press further. She just told him she wanted to take him somewhere. Then, they went to a fashion boutique. The manager greeted Alice warmly. He said what she needed was already prepared. At that moment, the man realized Alice had brought him there to buy clothes. He quickly refused, saying his salary couldn't possibly afford the clothes here. Unexpectedly, Alice threatened him, saying that tomorrow was the company's bidding conference. As his secretary role, he represented the company's image. If something went wrong, it would be his responsibility. Not wanting trouble, the man reluctantly followed the manager to change. After he changed and came out, Alice told the manager to pack up the rest of the clothes. The man panicked and refused immediately, nervously asking the manager about the price. When he heard the clothes cost $900,000, he instantly demanded to return them. That was his entire year's salary. But what he didn't know was Alice had already paid. She was just scaring him on purpose. Seeing how nervous he was, Alice finally told him the truth. Only then did the man relax, feeling embarrassed about his reaction. In the afternoon at work, unexpectedly, the assistant told everyone that Alice had bought lots of cake for everyone. The man still felt embarrassed about the morning, so he didn't eat any. But when Alice found out, she directly put the cake in front of him, and as soon as he opened it, he froze. He saw it was all the food he loved. Alice actually still remembered his preferences.